Hey guys, welcome back to a first look at Smash Wii U for, today we're going to do the final, the big match you've all been waiting for, the mirror match of Duck Hunt Dog versus Duck Hunt Dog.
Yeah, we've played through almost every character that the Smash Wii U has offered us, and by fate, it seems, or just by the fact that there was a random character slot on my end, we are doing this mirror match here, right now.
The great and mighty.
The character that just came out of nowhere, really.
Yeah,
we had
just
no
like, at
clue.
the last moment, they're like, okay, fuck it. Who can we just put in? They're like, Duck Hunt Dog. What does he do? I don't know. So, Duck Hunt Dog is a really weird one, because he has these weird move sets that are, like, not used with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, like, he can control the can much like you would the Ice Climbers in the previous time. So, it's also important to note, like, he's like the last person you get to.
Oh,
so,
really?
like, if you didn't watch any of the trailers, you just like, who the fuck is this? And you're like, Duck Hunt Dog. He's got his little bird friend.
Yeah.
You got your pork and beans can. You got 8-bit character dude, who, fuck if I know what he does. I still am unsure. He's kind of this weird mix of, like, person. He can knock his hat off. So, yeah, Duck Hunt Dog is really, he's a strange one, because, like, your actual damage numbers are a bit disjointed, too. So, like, your aerial game is not my favorite for most characters. But you can really edge guard with them, which I guess is probably his strongest suit.
Yeah.
And, like, that can does a lot. That's your bread and butter. It could be pork and beans for all we know, so.
Yeah, a very strange character, you know, from the get-go. It's just unlike anything else in any of the Smash games, really.
Yeah, you control a entity separately that really is a strange one.
Which is the down B, you mean?
No, like the can.
Oh, the can.
The can is
true.
like your key move, and it's this weird, like, combination of, like, things that you can control and not control, and, like...
Mm-hmm. But, you know, it seems you still can control the can.
No, like, I mean, like, that's what you control, but, like, there's certain times where, like, you don't control, like, the true, like, amount of damage. Like, if someone else hits it, they can change the direction. So it still has a little bit of control on that end.
Yeah.
But
just because there's, you know, limited control doesn't mean that it'll be, you know, hard to use, per se. I mean, with Duck Hunt Dog, a lot of it is a keep-away game, and that that you can move repeatedly by pressing the B button is so good.
Oh, yeah,
especially when they're off the stage and things like that. So, yeah, it's just really, really good to use.
I'm still unsure how to, like, really finish without his smashes.
Yeah.
Which are basically someone shooting your screen. You can just watch two people throw cans at each other.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected this matchup to be like.
This is probably, like, one of the worst mirror matchups, in my opinion.
Oh, God.
Just because, like, there's no real other way to play Duck Hunt Dog. Like, you really got to utilize that can, the frisbee. That stuff really is what brings home what he does. Like, his spacing game is probably the best. I can't think of someone else I'd rather play, like, space with. Because, like, he just offers this unique style where you can play something that's stationary, and they have to be careful, because then you can choose to move it, or if you don't choose to move it, it can just sit there, but you can still pop it up at the last moment. So, like, you can just kind of come in out of the blue. And then the frisbee itself, too, because you can choose to explode the frisbee whenever you want. Or the can of beans. Or just die. Whichever.
Or just die. I'm cool with that. I take that.
So, I don't think you ever really want to get too close into melee. If you can so help it. He's better at just edge guarding.
Yeah.
So he's strong in his own right. It's just his moveset's so slow when you're in melee range. And, like, the range is quite short. So you gotta be very cautious not to get caught. You can often kill yourself by just going a little too out there.
Oh,
but, like, this is what I mean. Like, you don't even need to play the rest of the character. You can choose to just throw cans out and just really pressure your opponent.
Yeah, definitely really good long-range options to just keep on throwing out and just, like, keep your your opponent at bay.
Yeah, because the other thing, too, is you can control these things separate of your person. So if you get really good with the can can be its own separate entity that you can... It's almost like playing two characters, you and the can. Which seems like not a lot of options, but the thing is, the can does a lot of damage. The thing explodes. And just knowing that you can move, you can jump, and still use it. If you're grabbed, you can still control the can. So I've seen people get out of grabs by just using the can to get them, like, get the person as they're in the grab.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be creative with him.
Yeah.
You gotta be smart. He's not just a swordsman where you just gotta be the best. Because that's sometimes just an option, have the best skill level at that point, but throw that can out, man. And just really
there you go. If that hits,
yeah,
side smash, if that hits, that's really good.
That's what I feel is like his main goal to get you with.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, my feelings with Duck Hunt Dog, that can is probably a new mechanic to the Smash 4 series, and
like
it seems
Hydrant.
to be deadly.
Yeah, like it's similar to like Pac-Man's Hydrant, where it's just like this one piece of thing that you drop down, but you always got to be cautious with it.
Yeah,
it's not inherently bad, but the Hydrant, if you launch the Hydrant, you can get just wrecked by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it serves really well as an edge guarding tool.
Yeah, you just toss it off, and since you can change its trajectory, if the other person is like, oh, just dodge around it, it's like, no, whenever you were coming back in, I just kicked the can a bit higher and I launched it back.
Yeah, I believe you can kick it like 10 times or something.
Yeah, before it like explodes.
Before it explodes, you can keep on hitting B, and that will keep on sending it up and forward.
Yeah.
Or whatever direction that it's going 10 times until it explodes, and really interesting, to have it there as a pressure, because it occupies one space and it will explode if it touches you. So I think Duck Hunt, he is pretty good at controlling space on the stage, and that's something that's really, really important in a game like this, where stage position is paramount to eventually closing out a game, which is knocking your opponent off into the blast zones and taking their stocks and things like that. So
yeah. So the only thing I'd say is you got to be cautious because he does not have the best recovery.
Yeah,
it is horizontally. It's trash. It's kind of bad on that end.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can still do it. Don't get me wrong, but there's way better options across the board. Vertically, it's not too bad. Kind of like in that higher ranges.
Right.
But the thing I'd say is like it's very hard to finish if you're against another range opponent. So someone like Samus, Pitt, Paul and Tina, they go right at home in this kind of matchup where they can also choose to sit back.
Yeah.
Because you can't you don't need to worry about the engage. But a swordsman, this is hell. Like this is absolute hell. Duck Hunt Dog is annoying to jump on.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta be careful for like matchup wise. He's probably one of like those people that have very high and low matchups.
Right.
Like there's some people just does unreal against, and then some people that are just like, we're just gonna punish you.
Yeah.
Because he does have a hard time finishing. You need to get those smashes or a really good can.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential with Duck Hunt right now, just because he's just so different to use. But
yeah,
you can see all of it there. He has powerful spacing options, powerful moves that can really keep a person at bay.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of time before we see him more in tournaments, and people really putting all his options
effort,
to good
yeah.
use. You know.
So like on that final note, since this is probably our last one to end off on, there's definitely when we talk about these characters, there's very few people that I just outright did not like. Obviously, actually say that they would not be worth playing. As much as I didn't like Robin's mechanics or Pikachu's mechanics and like how they're designed, they're not bad. They're just like, you gotta just play with them. But there's only like people like Pit and I think Wii Fit Trainer that are the only two that I really question power levels.
Yeah.
Just because of what they have to offer.
Right.
But overall, one thing that we've talked about is the idea of untapped or unused characters. Because in tournament right now, one thing that we brought up a lot was the concept of a pick up and go character. Someone that's immediately good, and there's no such thing as having to really master them. You just need to play them, and you'll just be immediately better. Versus Dill's seen me play Villager.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a Villager in tournament play. I haven't seen even one online, besides myself. And it's just like, it's such a weird character, but it's one of my favorites because of all the utility that I have at my hands. And it can be downright frightening. Like, that tree can be frightening. Marty's stupid with his Pac-Man. This stupid bullshit with the Pac-Man. Or, even Mega Man, you won't see too many. They don't make that grand showing. So, definitely play around with characters. Let us know what you guys think. Because, really, it comes down to how much time you want to put into some of these people.
Right.
If you want to just play Marth and just go straight swordsman, or if you just want to play, Lucario and just do not the bare minimum, but, not really put in the most amount of time possible for the character.
Yeah, my final words with the game, trying out half of the character cast, I can easily say that most of these characters are enjoyable to use. Even though some characters may be better than others, and perhaps in the future, a tier list will form, and some of the characters that we thought were good or we thought were bad will place higher. But that doesn't from a person who comes from maybe a bit more of a competitive approach to these games, it's kind of interesting to finally actually just play half of these characters and be like, wow, they actually aren't that bad to use. They seem, at the very least, fun to use. Whatever happens in the future, whatever meta happens, maybe matchups between certain characters will, prove one character to be really, really bad if every character is just better than that character. But I'm just really satisfied with how fun these guys are to use. I mean, the new characters that we see are new mechanics. Oh my god,
they're so cool.
Mechanics. They're
got
really
Bowser
cool.
Jr. with 100 different things to throw at you. Duck Hunt Dog with some of the most interesting stuff. Pac-Man with infinite super armor.
Yeah, and I'm surprised.
And the fucking hydrant.
And Mega Man. I'm surprised that I'm using a character that's not Captain Falcon. Honestly, that's so cool, and that's what makes Smash so good, because it's so different and so diverse. And,
we play a little game with Villager called What Can You Pocket, and the real joke is basically anything that's not a character.
Yeah,
you just grab everything.
Yeah, and there's just so much to explore in this game. All we're giving you guys is just a first look. Things will inevitably change, but being here, with you, Troy, and testing out these characters, I had fun.
Oh yeah,
and I think at the end of the day, that's pretty much all what video games are for. Just having fun.
Go buy this game. Go to EB or GameStop, depending on which country you're in. Get the bundle with the GameCube adapter, because that's the only way to get it.
Yeah, that's the only way you can play this game with a GameCube controller. Honestly.
Yeah. So really, guys, you gotta play more people. Me and Dill are very familiar with how competitive scenes work and tier lists. Just forget them for now. I read a lot of raw stat data, but the one thing I'm reading is who's playing what. Because this is purely online.
Yeah.
Skill levels vary. It's complete nonsense, really. Mm-hmm. If you see who's top tier, it's like, is it really top tier, or is it that no one's really venturing out yet?
Yeah, so just choose a character that you like, that fits your play style, and
fun.
Just roll with it and see what you can do.
Yeah.
And that's all we can really ask for. That's why we ask you guys to view and, you know, comment on what you guys think of these characters so that we can develop, you know, something more, you know, for the characters that don't really get a lot of spotlight.
Yeah,
you know,
like
what these videos are for.
The not Foxes and the not Falcos that are
of Melee
in a game that's a bit more balanced.
Exactly.
So
thanks for watching, guys.
See you guys next time. Go check out our other stuff. We got links like everywhere. Bad joke is bad, but we keep running it anyways. Thanks, Marty, for being a trooper and putting up all those links.
Watching all our shitty ass matches.
Yeah. And doing those sweet highlight reels. So guys, let us know what you think. Yeah, and just, you know what? Go out there and play. We'll see you online.